In this video, I'm going to show you how to refresh or restyle a old synthetic ponytail. You guys can see with this one here, this is a little over about 30 inches long. You can see it did have a nice curl to it, but it was kind of dry and rough on the ends. And I actually spotted this on someone and was like, please let me revamp that. I'll get it brand new and I'll give it back to you. So we've got this on loan and I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to quickly fix stuff like this. And that way, if you have one and you were thinking like you're gonna have to throw it away, you can get a little bit more wear out of it before you have to dispose of it. Because let's be honest, in this economy, we wanna make sure that we are as responsible as possible with our funds. At least I do, I don't know about y'all. Start by taking a wig head here. If you don't have one of these, you can use a styrofoam cap. Or for this part, honestly, you could do this on your own head if you need to, just without the jabbing of pins in there. If it's on your own head, you just have it on your ponytail and then you go through the process of detangling this hair. So I'm just pinning just to secure and kind of spread everything out. And that way I can get a nice good coverage where I know I can pull on that hair as needed and still get a good detangling on these ends. From there, I'm gonna go ahead and begin by starting at these ends here, and we're gonna work our way right on down. So detangling first, and then we'll work on smoothing out and readjusting curls. So I'm not gonna make you watch for all of this because you know how detangling works. Start from the ends, work your ways up. It's gonna look uglier before it looks better. So just hold on, don't stress. You got this, boo. All right, so once I get it detangled, and this is just one section I've got, but once I get it detangled, you should be able to freely brush your hair through. You may still experience a little bit of catching, but not much. It doesn't have to be perfectly smooth. We just wanna make sure a brush can glide through there with some ease. This is not gonna make the hair look brand new. It is still going to be rough. Just like here, how it's still like, baby, it's been through some things. That's the unfortunate thing about hair this length, is it's gonna catch on everything. It's gonna rub between your clothes and the seat of your car, all sorts of stuff. So long ponytails like this, if you wanna increase the longevity of them when you sit in places where you're gonna be between cloth and cloth, basically, toss it over your shoulder and that way it'll last a bit longer. Just because of less friction. All right, so I've got this ponytail completely detangled and you can see it's still a bit rough. So we've got to work on smoothing this out. It shouldn't take me much time at all. And by the way, I forgot to tell you, I am working with a wig brush. The nice thing about them is they have the metal pins on there, so it makes it a bit easier to deal with. Nice situation there. Now, I'm going to be using a steamer to smooth this out. If you do not have a steamer, you can use like a low heat flat iron, so long as it is a heat safe piece. You can use a bowl of hot water and be able to dip and kind of brush as it's going through the hot water. You can, at the next point, even put it over like a thing of boiling water to kind of give some steam there, just for a bit of indirect heat as well. So all perfect options, but if you plan on doing this pretty regularly to wigs, ponytails, different forms of synthetic units, a steamer is just the best way to go. They're not super expensive, and you can get tons of use out of it for not only your clothes, for your curtains, for bed sheets, for all sorts of stuff. They're just fantastic. So I'm gonna let that warm up and then I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna smooth this hair out and we'll reset the curls. Okay, so once my steamer comes to a boil, I'm gonna go ahead and take about half of this hair and we're gonna pin it out of the way. From there, I'm just gonna work in pretty reasonable size sections. First, making sure everything, again, is completely detangled before I get started with anything. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and take my steamer, combine it with my brush, and I'm gonna go ahead and begin to brush on down the length of this hair. And you can probably see how that's already beginning to smooth out the top of that hair. That's the goal. Comb through there, it's gonna cause some tangling on the ends, that's okay. Smooth through it and continue to hit with that steam. And we're just gonna gradually work our way down. Okay, so once you see that section I just smoothed, how I smooth that out all the way down, that's what we're looking for. That level of smoothness all the way down. Now it is slightly damp. I'm not overly concerned with that. My goal is just getting that knotting out of the hair. So again, starting at the ends, make sure that we have detangled that as well as possible. And then from there, heck, honestly, I could probably just take that, hold it there at the tight portion, just like that, and then just run over the surface of this hair up here. Go ahead and run under the surface here, like so. And then from there, detangle a little more. and just continue right on through there. So this shouldn't take you too long at all. Okay, so I finished the bottom half in terms of smoothing it out, and I want you to see the difference. So this is the bottom half of the hair. It is still wet, but look at the level of smoothness that we have there, okay? Even down to the ends, fingers can cleanly run through the hair. That's what we're looking for. Then from there, I want you to see where we started. Okay, look at the difference there. That's amazing. So I'm gonna do this again up top, and then from there, I will show you how to reset your curl. By the way, if you don't want to do this on a ponytail and you want to do this on a wig, the same thing works so long as it is, even if it's not a heat safe wig, you can still typically use steam because it's not super hot. So it's not like a 400 and some odd degree flat iron like these new synthetics do. Usually you can go ahead and do this with most synthetics in general. If you're not sure, do a test strand. And that way you're just able to kind of check for sure. All right, y'all, I got a phone call while I was filming, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do this section as a voiceover, but I went ahead and had these two cheap scarves. If you've got a thicker scarf, you can use one. You can also use socks for this, whatever floats your boat, boo-boo. If you wanna use leggings, you can use leggings for this, honestly. And I'm gonna go ahead and take two of these because it's rather thin. The thinner that your section is, if you wrap around, the smaller your curls will be. So if you want bigger curls, then you can use something thicker as well. I'm just gonna take it and wrap around, add in just a little bit, continue to wrap. And as you're doing this, because of the length of the ponytail, it's gonna tangle up. So you'll see me periodically stop just to detangle and brush out the hair. From there, once I have done so, you'll just see me continue picking up little bits of hair, adding it in and wrapping that hair around. I didn't realize until I started watching this back on the edit that I was flipping y'all off. So I apologize. That's not for, well, that might be for some of y'all. It just depends on what the comments have to say. Sorry, y'all. Anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and continue wrapping around. I'm going to do this all the way down to the ends of the hair. And of course, once you get to where you no longer have hair to pick up, you can just continue to wrap individually. The thing I love about this technique is it takes so little time, but it yields such a beautiful result, and it looks like you spent a good degree of effort on it. So it's a really great and easy way to go ahead and do this. I'm only going to show you guys on this side, and just know that on the other side of the head, it is mirrored. So it's the opposite direction. But if you'd like to do it in the same direction, it's not a big deal. You can do it in the same direction on that side, and just know the ponytail is going to flow in one direction. As a cosmetologist, I just have a habit of doing things away from the face. So you can see now we've gotten down towards the ends. We no longer have hair to pick up, so I'm just going to wrap all the way down. And by now you're probably wondering, how am I going to secure those ends? Don't worry, I'll show you that on here before I clip out to the next side. So we're going to go ahead and wrap all the way down. Thankfully, this hair tapers down. If it doesn't, you may have to do a little bit more work to secure it. But I'm just going to go ahead and toss a butterfly clip on there, just like that. And don't worry, as long as you don't put it too high or too tight, it'll still hold without putting any indentations in the hair that show up after we've processed this hair to look that way. On the other side, I'm doing the exact opposite. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So once we've got that done, I'm going to take a large grocery sack. In this instance, I'm using an Aldi bag because they're thicker. If it has a design on it, make sure the design is facing outward, especially if you're doing this on a light color of hair, because the design of the bag can rub off on the hair and that will permanently stain that hair. Don't say I didn't tell you. Kay love you. So yeah, just things to keep in mind. I'm feeling to see how warm this is, and I want to make sure that I'm doing this for at least a good, I'd say 5 minutes or so. Some people would do it longer, but honestly, it's not necessary. The bag is to hold in the heat. Okay, so this has been under here for about 30 minutes, only because I was on a phone conversation, but you really don't have to leave it under there that long. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this loose. I've got this same situation up here where it's like this here. And these are just scarves. You can honestly use like a winter scarf. You can use whatever you like. From there, I'm gonna go ahead and unclip around the ends. Unclip around the ends. I absolutely love this because it's not a super difficult technique. Doesn't take a ton of time, and it yields a beautiful result. So check it out. You guys ready? Just gonna go ahead and unwrap this. Check out those curls. Okay. little by little, I'm just going to take it down. We're going to separate that out, separating the previous section from the next one. Undo, separate, undo it, separate, undo it, and there we go. That side is taken down. That's the curls that we're left with there. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing here. It's wrapped in the opposite direction. If you want to do these in the same direction, you can. It's totally fine. It's up to you. Alright, and there you have it. Nice and simple ponytail design. We're going to go ahead and take these pins out. The thing I absolutely love is you don't need a lot of tools to make this happen. Literally a scarf, a brush, some pins, and of course some butterfly clips. And then you can separate this as much or as little as you would like. I want her to get this ponytail back like it's brand new though, so I'm not going to do much to it, but I want you to just check that out. That is the after. You would never believe that was the same ponytail. And there we go. This will get quite a bit more wear out of it. Looks nearly brand new. Looks nearly brand new. So that's fantastic. I absolutely love it. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Of course, the drawstring and all that still works on it, so you can tighten that baby right on up. And then you've got a nice full, brand new looking ponytail with no money spent whatsoever. Now I know somebody in the comments is always going to be like, just buy a new one. But literally you can do this in like 30 minutes max. I think it's worth it, honestly. But if you don't think it's worth it, by all means, go ahead and buy a new one. That's totally fine. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section down below. Until next time, take care, God bless, and stay glam. You know I love you, boo. Bye.